Here we are back again with another POD video. As always, before we get to the nitty gritty, the joke of the day. So, I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but Murphy's Law is a theory that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And Cole's Law is thinly sliced cabbage with mayonnaise. So, there you go. Horrible joke. If you didn't get it, ask me in class on Monday. But anyways, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about campaign finance in ways that it is going to be limited. So really, campaign finance was first limited in 1971 with the Federal Election Campaign Act. And in government, they always like to come up with these abbreviations. You have the FECA. And what this campaign act does is it requires public disclosure of candidate spending. So anything that candidates spend money on has to be disclosed. It has to be public knowledge. And you can go and look this stuff up on the internet. It even goes so much. I remember a couple of years ago in 2016 when they were running with Trump and Clinton, there was actually a news article of who was a healthier eater, and they compared who ate more bagels to donuts, or who had more pasta at their events compared to pizza. But if it's something that is used for the campaign, it doesn't matter if it's advertisement, if it's food, if it's a babysitter, all of it needs to be disclosed. And what this does is it gives the public a little bit more knowledge about the candidates. And within that, also what it does is it limits the amount of hard money that can be donated to a political campaign. And there's a difference. It's something called hard money and soft money. And in a few slides, we'll talk about what soft money is. But hard money is money that you give specifically to a candidate that is going to be used for their campaign. So right now it's limited to $2,700 per year that you can give to a specific candidate, and then the candidate can use it however they want to. And the reason that they create this is it tries to limit spending. They don't just want some billionaire to pay for someone to be elected, and then that person's kind of in their back pocket creating laws and doing things that they want them to do. So because of that, the FECA is created to try to limit that spending. Now, the FEC, that is the people who runs it, the Federal Election Commission. This was created in 1974, so only 3 years prior to the FECA, and they're the people that actually spend the time monitoring campaign spending. And this is something you can go and look online, the FEC.com or the FEC website, and you can type in our zip code. You can see who in our area has donated the most money to political campaigns. You can go and look at like a candidate like Donald Trump, and you can look at who has given them money. And it's one of the things that the opposing side always takes a look at to see who is giving that person money, see if that person is someone who is kind of has a controversial past, and then in a debate they bring up, well, why'd you accept money from this person or so and that kind of stuff. But the FEC, essentially all they do is they're the people that actually monitor the spending. They administer all the election laws. Um, and then they also have the presidential election campaign fund, which this isn't really something that has come to be a major deal. But the reason I wanted to include this is because you're going to see this on your form when you do your taxes. Now, the Presidential Election Campaign Fund, it is a not a tax, it's a donation that you can give to establish public funds for the presidential election. Now, again, it says that the money comes from your annual taxes. And the reason that that's the case is because you can pay and you can give to this election fund through your tax form. And usually at the end, it's a tax deductible amount. They say, would you like to donate the $3 to the presidential election campaign fund or something like that? And then the Republicans and the Democrats, what they do is they share equally of who gets that money. A third party can qualify. It's just very, very difficult for them to do so. But anyways, hopefully that makes sense. Just kind of wanted to add a little bit about that campaign fund, just because when you're doing your taxes, you're going to see that and potentially question what the purpose of that is. And then the last slide that we're going to do is we're going to talk about what's called soft money. Now, laws are very difficult to write for Congress, especially concerning how much money can be given to political candidates. So again, hard money, that is money that's specifically going to a president or a politician. Soft money is used for general party building purposes. Now, what that can mean is, there's so many loopholes. It can mean they can use this to try to get people to go out and vote. They can use this to create advertisements. But you have to be careful with the soft money. If you use it incorrectly, it transfers to be called hard money. And what I mean by that is if you've ever watched political advertisements and they say at the end, I'm Brandon Zahn and I approve this message, that is a hard money campaign. That's hard money funds. If they attack the other side and at the end say, get out and vote, the more you know, something along those lines, that is soft money because that isn't technically used for political advertisement. That technically is used to try to get people to go out and vote. And soft money, that is where you see the majority of funds being raised because there is absolutely no contribution for that. If a billionaire wanted to give $1 billion to the Republicans or Democrats, you could do that. And again, it has to be used for those party building purposes. And then the hard part about this is there have been times where people have wanted to reform and they've wanted to change these laws on soft money, but the incumbents, the people who are currently in the House, the people who are currently in the Senate, they aren't always so eager to get rid of campaign finance laws. They aren't always so eager to get rid of soft money because that got them elected. The reason that they won is because they had these people who were millionaires donating thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars to their campaigns. So because of that, reform is very, very difficult. And, I'm guessing it's probably going to get to a point where they're going to have to limit it. However, they don't want to because they know if they have been in office for 10, 15, 30 years, they have millions and millions of dollars that's stored up and that they can use at their discretion. And to just say, all right, you have to get rid of all that and even out the playing field with your opponent, well, no one's going to want to do that. So, anyways, hopefully that makes sense how finance is going to be limited, how they're going to monitor it. Make sure you're entering the Google form so you get the credit for watching the video.